What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Adam. This is Vancity Audi. We have the B9 S4 here back at Ryder Performance for a hardware modification this time around. We've spiced it up with Stage 1 91, 93, E40, E85, all from Integrated Engineering. We're rocking their software and we are enjoying it. But now we're gonna spice it up a bit more with some hardware upgrades. The first thing we're gonna be installing is CTS Turbo's charge pipe. This charge pipe connects the intercooler to the throttle body. What we're using this for is hopefully to decrease a little bit of the turbo lag and hopefully to improve my throttle response. Secondly, we're going to install this because we need these bungs so we can connect our boost tap. We installed an analog boost line when we installed our P3 gauge. It was one of the very first things we did with this car. And I'd rather use an analog line rather than trusting the OBD2 port for my boost readings. It's just, I don't know, it's me. I'd prefer the analog line over digital. I always have, I think I always will. So what we're gonna be doing is just a simple install today here at Ryder Performance. The other thing we're gonna be doing while we're here is we're taking off the bumper anyways, so we're finally going to be painting that god-awful crash bar. It is super bad on the eyes. It's an eyesore. Aluminum popping out of the front of my black grille. So we're gonna be spraying that black. Hopefully it kind of hides behind the beautiful grille that we have here, and then we'll put it all back on, we'll wrap it up, and I'll show you the before and after photos of what it looks like before and after, including the install along the way. This is the final time we're gonna see this ugly ass aluminum crash bar, guys. Thank goodness. We didn't have black paint when we put on this grille, so this time around at Ryder Performance, we'll take care of this and make it look a hell of a lot better.
First thing Kyle does is remove the plastic cover that sits above the front grille. The next thing he does is removes all of the bolts on both insides of the wheel wells to be able to pop out the left and the right corner of the front bumper. He then disconnects the hood latch. The next thing he does is he removes the 4 bolts that connect the top of the grille to the rad support. And with these bolts removed, he's able to remove the front bumper by disconnecting the front camera and the parking sensors. Now that that front bumper was removed, Kyle was able to get to the OEM charge pipe. He loosened the clamps and then worked and wiggled some more until he got it out of the car.
Here's the OEM charge pipe that Kyle has removed. It is made with the weirdest of material. Feels like McDonald's play balls. Then we have the OEM map sensor that we're gonna have to rob as well. Kyle's done spraying that crash bar, and boy oh boy does it look 1,000 times better than when it was all aluminum. Time to let it dry before we go any further. Here we have the upgraded charge pipe from CTS laying right beside the OEM pipe, so you guys can see the differences. There's a few more bends in the OEM pipe, whereas the CTS is really just straight through and hopefully will provide better airflow. You can see that Kyle has robbed the map sensor and removed one of those so we can connect the boost tap. So these are the additional parts that come with the kit from CTS Turbo. A couple silicone couplers. This goes in replacement of this plastic piece. And then we also have these as well.
So Kyle gets in there and removes the 4 bolts that are holding on that plastic piece. Once those have been removed, he takes it off completely. Here's a side-by-side of the OEM piece versus the upgraded aluminum CTS one. He installs the O-ring into the new aluminum piece and then slides it back into the same spot the plastic one was. Once on, he securely tightens the 4 bolts holding it in place. Next, he installs the silicone couplers and tightens the clamps around them. Time to install the charge pipe itself. He does this by wiggling its way up from the bottom until he has it in the right place and then secures it on the bottom end as well. With the charge pipe in place, he tightens both sets of clamps. Next, he reconnects the map sensor.
So if we weren't installing the boost tap, this would be completed as is. He's tightened everything up, including the map sensor down under here. We see it off the intercooler, and then up, up, and up. But there you go. That's what we've exposed, and that is where we're going to be putting the boost tap.
He pulls the boost line out from the rain tray that we roughed in during my P3 gauge install. He finds the best possible path he can to run it along other cables and lines so it goes unnoticed. He then zip ties every few inches or so to make sure the line stays in place and also looks great.
Kyle has pulled that boost line through the rain tray and ran it very nicely along here. Zap strapped it along the way. And now we got to go down there on the charge pipe and connect it.
Firstly, he installs a nipple into the bung so we are able to obtain the boost reading from the charge pipe. Once tightened, he pulls the boost line from above. He then puts one slightly larger piece of tubing to hold our boost line in place. To help hold it in place even further, he zip ties it on the front and rear of that larger piece of tubing.
Kyle has completed the line for the boost tap, and there you have it, guys. Siliconed, zip tied, making sure that that does not go anywhere, and then he's also put Teflon on the nipple.
And finally, Kyle puts the front bumper back by repeating all of the steps he used to take it off in the first place.
So there's the boost tap looking down at it from above, and then as we pull out, you can see the entirety of that charge pipe. And that's it for the install. That's what it looks like. It's all said and done. Very, very simplistic install, and we're also utilizing it for a boost tap as well. And we have a brand new front of the car. Does that not look so much better? It is completely blacked out now that Kyle has sanded and painted it. I know we'll get some chips here and there, and you'll be able to see the aluminum through it, but for the most part, it looks 1,000 times better, and I'm extremely happy with it. When we first installed my P3 gauge, we had it set to read from the standard map sensor off of the OEM charge pipe, but now we have to tell it to read the analog boost using the P3 analog boost sensor. Now we're going to have to use this left button on the P3 gauge until we cycle from C all the way around to A. There you have it. So now what we're going to do as a test is I'm going to activate launch control, and we're going to see if we can get that gauge to go up. Woo-hoo-hoo! It works! And that wraps it up here at Ryder Performance. Thank you so much to Kyle for the install. Super seamless, painless, and easy install for that CTS turbo charge pipe. We made sure that boost tap worked as well by seeing it on the P3 gauge. So now I'm going to know how much boost I'm making through an analog sensor rather than the digital sensor reading through the OBD2 port. Besides that, painted the front crash bar. Looks like $1 million now. I know it's going to be chipped here and there, but it looks so much better than bare raw aluminum does. So the reason why we use that charge pipe was mainly to do with the fact that it already had the bung in it so we could run that boost tap. Besides that, we're hoping that I get a little better throttle response. We're hoping that I get a little less turbo lag, but we're not expecting the world from it. I will make comments in future videos, but I'm not going to be out there performance testing it to see if it does that in this video. We're wrapping it up here. The other thing that you guys may have noticed is it looks very similar to the custom piping that Kyle has made for my RS3. Very similar 2.5-inch piping on the RS3. At least I think it's 2.5. Is it 2.5 on the RS3 or is it 3? I can't even remember. It's been so while ago.
2.5, one side's 3.
One side's 2.5, one side's 3. But very similar, where he custom made aluminum pipe for the RS3 to make it flow better, make it more efficient. If you guys check out my social media pages, Facebook and Instagram, both Vancity Audi, I showcase what Kyle has made for the car. Looks very, very similar on the RS3. So stay tuned to the channel, guys. Coming up in the videos to come, we will have more hardware updates, more upgrades for this vehicle in hopes of making it even quicker and faster in the quarter mile. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, take care.